That's amazing.
Nice.
Ooh. Guess what we're talking about?
When he stole that from Disneyland, which is really Burk, tell him how you stole that.
I just went up and took it. And nobody stopped me. I mean, it's Disneyland. You know, they let you steal whatever you want when you go there.
You're allowed to steal stuff at Disneyland, I've heard.
I took the breaks.
They don't want the bad publicity of somebody getting arrested at Disneyland. So there's it's a little known thing, but there are no laws at Disneyland. You can do whatever you want.
There's Disneyland jail, though. You can't go to Disneyland jail.
I've been told.
I took the brakes off one of the cars at Space Mountain. We'll see how that goes.
Oh, God. Yeah. Don't even joke about that.
Just kidding. Kidding. It's a joke.
My husband
too.
has the apple from Snow White. It was in some ride back in the day when he was a little punk ass. Oh. They stole stuff. They ran around in the ride, got in trouble. He went to Disneyland jail at the time.
And what is Disneyland jail? A little holding pen?
Yeah, it's a little holding place where they call your parents. Basically for being an asshole.
And you're like,
I don't want it.
Wow.
Do I have it? I don't know where it is, but we still have it. It's downstairs.
Well,
it's a little red apple.
I have a lot of Disney memorabilia.
Yeah. I mean, the Haunted Mansion ride, of course, is one of my favorites because it was horror, number one, and it didn't make me seasick. So I did enjoy that. Yeah, I was a big ride wimp because I get seasick.
I love the old ones. I love the Haunted Mansion. I love Pirates of the Caribbean, and I just hate it when they change. I hate it when they. I mean, I hated it so much when they put Johnny Depp into the Pirates of the Caribbean, and you hear him when you go through. You hear his voice say, "Yes, like you talking like the guy from the Rolling Stones."
He's the worst.
And it just kind of reduces it and cheapens it in a way, and he keeps popping up out of the background. And
will that happen with this film? Because this is going to be the film Haunted Mansion is coming out July 28th, and it's tied very closely, supposedly, to the ride. So look at this cast. First of all, Jared Leto is Alistair Crump, Tiffany Haddish, Owen Wilson, Jamie Lee Curtis, Ryan Gosling, LaKeith Stanfield, Danny DeVito, Rosario Dawson, Winona Ryder, Dan Levy. I mean, it's a huge cast.
All right. That is huge. Who directed this?
Directed by Justin Simien.
Okay.
And so
he did Bad Hair Day, Dear White People.
Okay. Yeah. So it's it's a big budget film. It's Disneyland. So I'm going to guess that they're going to make some modifications to Haunted Mansion.
I would not mind
some of those actors in there.
Not mind seeing Jamie Lee Curtis in there. I would love that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because she's going to play Madame Leota, and I just think there's something about that voice when you go around that circle and there's seance and you see her head in the crystal ball, Madame Leota, the crystal ball is floating, and you realize that was done in the classic animation era of Disney, and it just has that feel, that sound, that look, and so much of the and what I also think that there should be some sort. I don't know. This is me saying should, which is a terrible thing. But with things like that, I feel like it is so close to what it was when Walt Disney himself was alive. Mm-hmm. And that's the things I feel like I wish they could preserve that vibe, because I think that is part of what people love so much about it, is that you go into Disneyland and you're not being bombarded with, I mean, it is all a big advertisement for their products. That's basically what it is. But you don't feel that way when you see the old timey stuff, when you see the old style, Pirates of the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. And then when they made the movie about it, suddenly it became a promotion for the movie. And suddenly they had to stick Johnny Depp in there because young people expected to see Johnny Depp.
That's their memories. Those were their memories.
Yeah. Well, what about this new It's a Small World movie with Justin Timberlake?
Right. Yeah, you're gonna have to stick Justin Timberlake in there now. And
just by saying that title, I'm gonna have that damn song in my head for weeks. Just by saying that.
I know.
Oh,
but so much of Disneyland is so classic. I just recently read this book about Disney, the early days of Disney and all that. And so much of what you see in those films and in the Haunted Mansion and the design of it came from the folks that did the animation. And so much of it, it's weird. There's one name that keeps popping up on everything. And this woman named Mary Blair, who I highly recommend anybody watching this. If you want a real hit of Disney and you want that feeling of nostalgia and that feeling of, wow, classic Disney, Google the name Mary Blair and look at her artwork. And it really is Disney. She designed, like It's a Small World and a lot of the Haunted Mansion. And you look at her paintings and it looks like the Haunted Mansion. And the wallpaper, everything. Yeah, there's a look to it. And if they do this movie the way the Marvel Cinematic Universe followed the Marvel model, the classic comics, if they follow the sort of classicness of Disneyland, which I hope they do, which is why Disneyland is still so popular, follow that, and then maybe they won't have to modify the Haunted Mansion too much, because it'll be what it is in the film.
But the good thing is like the old rides are still there. You can go to the old stuff, and it's just the classic. It's always going to be like that. But then you can go to like the Star Wars world or whatever and do that and sort of see the modern stuff. And
because Disney moves on, the park is moving on. Like I feel like the memories of the old Disney is only relevant for some people who could appreciate at the time, because a lot of people are forming their nostalgia from the more recent Disney stuff. There's also more inclusive, and I think there's a way to mix both.
I think they mix it well.
Need new rides that include other people and new products.
I think they mix it pretty well, to be honest. I think they do a pretty good job when I'm there. I feel like there's kind of the old stuff, the classic stuff, and here's the really new, cool stuff that's kind of a different feel. But we'll see what they do with it. Yeah,
to kind of update things. Like I remember the treehouse there used to be the Swiss Family, the Swiss Family Robinson. And then it became Tarzan's treehouse, and now I think it's something else.
Tom Sawyer or something, isn't it? Tom Sawyer Island, is that it?
Tom Sawyer Island, yeah. And then that became something else, and
there was that dragon that caught on fire, which was crazy.
Holy
shit, that was insane. The dragon, and it was beautiful. Like, thing is, that was like a spectacular exhibit.
What a ride!
And it makes sense for the dragon's head to be flaming, and all of a sudden it was like people were like, "Oh, that doesn't seem right."
Yeah,
but it looked it was cool in so many ways, but I felt bad for the dragon.
That was a little mishap. But the ride, there's a long history of rides that were there and then disappeared. And characters that just used to be popular. And in one situation, a ride was based on a Disney film that you can't even get because it sort of fell out of fashion. Did not age very well. The
very racist.
It's
very racist.
Yeah, it's very racist idea about slavery, the old South, and all that.
Everybody loves being a slave. It was not good.
But up until recently, they had a ride there that was based on that. It had the Zippity Doo Dah song, and it had the characters Brer Rabbit, and and it was probably really weird to people riding it. You're seeing these characters and the kind of hints at the storyline and all that, and they're like, "What is this from?" And why can't we watch it 60 billion times like we do all the other Disney movies?
Because you should be watching that one.
When I was 12, I went to Disney World in Florida when it first opened up, and I remember my first ride was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. The submarine, which I don't think that's there anymore because that movie is like 70, 80 years old, or something, from way back. So they do change it up.
Yeah.
And Disney World is having their battles right now. So with the governor down there,
I think that kind of retribution against private companies should be illegal. I don't think the political realm should involve themselves in that kind of shit.
I believe it is.
Not cool. We'll see. But it's like, I know that just seems, and it's also just incredibly homophobic and terrible what they're doing down there. So okay,
let's check out.
In the meantime, let's see how this goes, and imagine it through the filter of like the ride being changed to accommodate it.
This
is only the teaser. Also, there's more to come.
I mean, they do change the ride once a year around Halloween to reflect the Nightmare Before Christmas. They sort of decorate
it's super fun too,
and then they take it away. I mean, it's something that you can go see it, but that the original Haunted Mansion is going to come back.
That's right. Okay, here we go. We ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Oh wait, I need to have it up.
Oh,
here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Forget.
Welcome home. I know this place isn't as warm as I'd hoped, but I'm going to light a vanilla candle, and it's going to be a game changer. We're out.
This mansion is unhinged. She needs all the help she can get.
Welcome home. I know this place isn't as warm as I'd hoped. But I'm going to light a vanilla candle, and it's going to be a game changer.
Will it though?
We're out.
This mansion is unhinged. She needs all the help she can get. You want to be a hero? Pass. $2,000. What's the address?
This house has a way of playing tricks on you. Oh my God.
Is anybody else seeing this?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
I have to say that did have a huge vibe of the ride, and I loved it.
Yeah, it's got
Walking down the hallway
yeah.
and the
I like,
things changing everything. So fun.
I like the Roy Orbison tune that.
Yeah, Roy
too.
Orbison's voice. Yeah.
And I like LaKeith
Chilling.
LaKeith Stanfield. It looks like he might be.
Yeah.
I like him in everything.
Yeah.
From Get Out.
It looks like a fun movie. I mean, it's a funny comedy. I usually don't really like too much comedy in my scary, but sometimes it works. And if it works, it works. You know, Shaun of the Dead and things like that. But I don't know. I think I would prefer in my heart, I think it would be so fun to see a Haunted Mansion movie that was actually scary. You know,
Right.
But this is Disney.
This is Disney. It's going to be. It might just be more of a. If it's fun, you know, I'll take it for a Disney movie. Like it's fun. It has some, you know, maybe some tinge of adult.
The ride
stuff
is kind of fun. You know,
It is. The ride's not too serious.
It's not totally serious. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of campy.
If you're going there, it's capturing the essence of the ride. If the movie does that, then I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a win.
Well, they have some of the big scene, you know, the scene stealers, even on the ride with the, you know, the way the walls. You look like you're going down
the stretching room. Yeah.
And they do a kind of cool job of that where it's like, are you seeing this? It's like, and they make it as in the real world. That would be fucking frightening, but cool at the same time. So I like how they kind of showed that, this big long stretching room. And I like, again, the hallway where the painting keeps changing every time he sees it. That's really fun.
And you got to wonder
the ride is going by.
Right.
In the context of the film, why don't any of the characters see this stretching room and say, "Guys, have you ever been to Disneyland? You remember Haunted Mansion?"
Well, this is in the reality of the Haunted Mansion, which none of those people in there Disney either.
Disneyland doesn't exist. Maybe.
Right. Exactly.
It'd be funny if they did. They go, "This is just like that ride."
Yeah.
Got a funny line. We didn't see a lot of the cast in this.
No, we saw Rosario Dawson and Owen Wilson and LaKeith Stanfield.
Kid.
Yeah. I didn't see Jared Leto. I didn't see Ryan Gosling. At least I didn't think so.
As far as we know.
Yeah, right.
I think that might have been Jamie Lee Curtis at the door when she opened, kind of like a queen.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Oh,
for a split second.
Madam Leota.
I think maybe. I don't know. I'm just so fast. I couldn't tell.
Medium.
And there was so much makeup and crazy.
Well, I hope it's successful.
Yeah,
it looks like it'll be a fun film and a fun summer movie. July 28th. Right. I mean, it's perfect for summer.
Right.
And Disney.
So it looks like the main cast is here that we saw. It looks like everybody else might be secondary because we saw all of these and Danny DeVito at the bottom. Right. We saw all these people in the trailer, but we didn't see anyone. Maybe that wasn't Jamie Lee Curtis because it's probably not. Now that I look at this, it's probably not her. But kind of cool poster. I like how the shadows are a a little different. Like carrying weapons and things. Kind of cute.
Yeah.
It's kind of gothic. Cool.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Haunted Mansion, Disney, horror,
so many
comedy,
memories.
Fun. Go to your Disney World. Go to your local Disney World or Disneyland.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in Florida. Vote.
Especially in Florida. Yes.
If you like Disneyland, go vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. See you soon. Bye.